Okay, we're back. Woo! Man, people that are going to be rewatching this are going to be like, that only took seconds, moments, in fact. That's the reality, and that's all we can pretend. Okay, so the guy that you saw on the chain, that's the dwarf man. His name is Vizbek Tantolovich.
Mm-hmm.
And the train.
What's it called?
The train. The Avery
Yes.
Coast Railroad.
Okay. So it's not the Ivory Coast
Are
Railroad.
those birds in the train? Is it an Avery?
Fuck you.
Wait, no. Is that a different form
That
of
would be
Avery?
the Topiri
Yeah,
Coast Railroad or something. No.
The aviary?
Damn, I was hoping to do some
I was
bird
trying
singing.
to avoid that shitty pun. Thanks. So as you can see, it's not an 8-cart train. It's the numbers under each train denote which carts have that layout. So for example, train 1 is the engine, train 2 is the next one along, which probably be full of stuff. 3 to 9 are the carts for storage. 10 to 12 basic seat, etc., etc. You guys can all understand.
So this is a pretty big train then. There must be like, yeah. Do we know how many passengers are on like the list or the manifest or whatever?
Didn't
Yes,
we
I can
have
tell
a
you that in a moment.
manifest list?
Now, the list will be ebbing and flowing as well as you go from one place to another. Not everyone's going to be travelling just the length, and not everyone's going to be starting in Beaumont and ending in Patrice. But roughly, the coach cars are about half full. Let me see if it tells me a number. Coach class is half full. Second class is half full. Businessman. Only one suite in first class is occupied. Okay. About 300 souls on board. About 40 in second class room. Yeah, so about 2 to 300 souls. That's including all staff.
I'm going to say it's a bit ominous using the term souls.
Yeah.
Do we, sorry, this is probably getting a bit pedantic, but
Okay.
do you know roughly how many are in like first and second class where we were sort of told to spend probably the bulk of our attention?
About 40 in the second class rooms. And a family of 4 in the first class suite. Next to the first class suite that's been put aside for the undercover RHC officers.
Okay.
Also,
Wait,
your
so
guys'
hang on.
ticket allow you basically free reign from cart 10 backwards.
Okay. Can you tell us what the bottom 4 train cars are for here? Like 13 through 19, rather.
Yeah. So,
If you're talking right now, you're not talking.
no, I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Okay. You just said so, and then
13
it sounded
is
like you cut out.
What do you call it? An eating place?
Oh, like a dining
cafe
cart?
13
cart?
is?
Yeah, like a dining cart, yeah.
Okay.
So that's for the coach and some second class business type people. 14 to 16 is second class seating. And then 17 to 18 is first class rooms and suites. And 19 is a bar. That's a first class bar and eatery.
And so are
Um,
all the undercover officers at first class?
Yes.
Time to get wasted.
I mean, as a priest, I abuse the money that we get as in tithes.
Now, you guys don't know the pain I went through, but I have got every single cart put up.
oh, God.
I'm just sharing them all now. You can close them as I go, but this way you guys can click through them to look at them at any point. So just bear with me as you get spammed by all of the carts.
Holy shit! Even the individual ones that are the same.
Yeah. So like 17 to
Crazy
18,
mofo.
I've got a 17 and 18 map that are the same picture. Because
We're going to be doing a whole sprint through
yeah.
the chain fight.
Of Quite possibly.
So
Or you're gonna expect us to fuck shit up and have to do a sprint for the train fight.
So 2 to 9 are all just coal carts, are they?
No, 2 to 9. Sorry, 3 to 9.
Storage shit.
Like luggage and freight.
Maybe goods
Yeah.
from merchants
Okay.
and stuff, I would assume.
Oh my god, there's so many pictures.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
She don't want them all.
Can I close some of these? Spite?
Yeah, I
You
said
can
you,
close them.
No.
if you were listening.
I was, but I didn't hear that part. I'm not sure you actually said that.
He
I'm
did.
pretty s-
He just effectively said he's sharing them with us now so we can actually go for the images and click them open if necessary.
Yeah, you'll see now in your images tab, you guys have all of the train maps shared with you.
I like how you have learnt, and they are not listed battle map train 1,
Yeah.
train 2.
Secret dragon fight.
I'm not trusting this dwarf guy. Look at him. Just look at that picture.
I'll admit that he said that when he said that you saw an old, bleary-eyed dwarf arguing, I thought you were like throwing Dimitri into some situation.
Another grumpy bleary-eyed dwarf.
I'm sure we'll get on just fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you guys make your take your seats, I should say. You can choose whichever cart you'd like to be in at any point. You can be back in first class, or you can be kicking it with the normals, the pleb. Basically, your tickets are a special ticket. They're first class, so you have almost free reign on the train.
I'll just hang in with the plebs for now.
Okay.
Talking to whoever I can about Jesus.
Yeah. Dimitri, you also have a few tidbits of information that you know from the manifest. There is only one other party that is running the entire length of the Avery coastline. It's a family of 4 Baron half-orcs. They are the Grientos, which I'll check in chat. The Grientos family. And they're purportedly on the train for a sightseeing trip. They're, how would you describe it? New money.
But of course, they're all secretly Illuminati.
Quite possibly. They board the train.
Just the youngest baby. Just the baby.
Yeah. So they board the train. You might even take their ticket. But they board the train and take up residence in the first class lounge in awe of their environment. The husband is Damata Griento, which I'll share with you. That's Damata Griento.
Wait, who the
Oh, he's pretty dapper.
Yeah, is he?
is he? What race is he?
What, just because I said half orc, you assumed he wouldn't be? Oh, wow.
I thought he was like half vampire from those teeth
No, half orc.
and the clothing.
He's particularly excitable and chatty, and he strikes up a conversation with anyone who happens by him. Tends to be about things more to do with engineering. Oh, I say, did you see that locomotive engine? My, what a feat! But if anyone brings up the reason that he's actually on the trip, the sightseeing that his family's here for, he's sort of, yes, but did you see all this other cool stuff? He's much more interested in the train, it seems.
Hmm.
His family is also made up of... Oh, sorry, there's pizza in my mouth. How did that get there?
I wonder.
Can pizza also get in my mouth?
His son is called Taro. There's Ijika, which is the wife. And while they're, mingling with people, you see the boy gesture at a blonde, rather rugged-looking woman and starts fussing about something on her arm. And anyone who cares to overhear hears the boy excitedly saying, "Did you see the scars on her arms? Boy, that's meaty. She must have fought like a dragon or something." Before the mother sort of fusses over, and "Don't be silly, dragons don't exist. Stop pointing at people, that's rude."
So who's the woman he's pointing to?
It's a blonde woman. Who would you like to check the crew manifest?
I think Dimitri
like
would.
to
He's
check
probably
her.
going to be trying to put names to faces on just about everybody of note.
Okay. This person is pointing at is someone called Bree, or Brianne Caldeca.
I'll spread her on a cracker.
What?
Brie, the
Bree,
cheese.
yeah. That was weird.
Does she
though.
come from? Never mind. I'm not going to. Too obvious.
Okay, so that's the chick with the scars on her arm. There's also D'Amato's daughter, which is Dabo.
Dabo?
Yeah, and as everyone's still sort of moving around, moving into seats, and they're taking their place, she has a very obvious panic attack. And D'Amato Grientos, the father, sort of makes a big fuss and gets everyone out of her way and takes her down to the lounge where the family settles in. Man, this
I
pizza's
guess
really making me talk slowly. Sorry, guys.
I'll go over to the family to see if I can, seeing their daughter in distress as a priest, I'll offer my help, my services.
All right, so you go up to them. Oh, what the fuck?
Pizza not in mouth now.
Think it might be on the floor now.
Now Alicia's just kicking the Xbox 360. Fuck! I know you like PlayStation, but get over it! Right. So you go up to the family, and yeah, he thanks you for showing concern, but informs you that everything is under control, and you can see that the daughter is beginning to calm down. If you mention anything about religion, he will scoff at you and tell you politely, but in no uncertain terms, no, they're not interested. Thanks.
I just got it's a good way to make money, and just walk off.
He gives you a strange look. So, as you guys are all, settling down, it gets close to about 7:25, so a few minutes before the train is getting ready to go. And train security guard Malia Baccarin, who Dimitri you would have come to know for the last few days, begins to make a pass through the first and second class section, checking just to make sure everyone's in the proper section. You might even be helping her with this, and also you would know, but you wouldn't. You'd be told not to admit it, just to make sure no rubble has snuck into the important areas from Coke.
I'm sorry, Ryla.
And this is Malia Baccarin.
What? I don't know who this Rylar is that you're talking about.
The riff.
So she's not actually like police officer. She's just literally like a hired security guard.
Employed by the Avery Coast Railway. Now, as she gets down to the... sorry, let me just chuck in a vote. Who's staying... just click the area of the train you're sitting in. Wait, I'm doing that on the wrong screen.
Where's the bar? It's in first class, right?
Yep. Third class being coach as well, just to be clear. Okay, so everyone's in at least first or second, which is great. So as Marley is making her way down the cart, she makes an offer to each of you in turn, or to groups if you guys are sitting in groups, that. Sorry, she doesn't make an offer. She asks if you'll be staying with the train as far as Trichom. Which, yes,
How far are we going again?
your Vendries will include that.
Then yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. A place may take my fancy.
She nods and she says, "Well, I can certainly tell from your build." And she sort of squeezes your bicep a little bit and says, "You look like just the type that, well, distinguished guests such as yourselves like to enjoy a safari of sorts in the Malice Land."
I give her a wink and wink back and go, "Why, yes. It is always interesting to go on these safaris and exotic places."
She smiles and says, "So is that you showing interest? From
Yes.
Arithia onwards, I will come and collect you." And she offers each of you the same. Being quite flirtatious and charming, and unless you have particular reason not to, you probably find her quite nice, quite the kind person. And she, if pressed, will describe the safari. Those who she's deemed as distinguished guests sit on the roof of the train with muskets and rifle and all other type of weapons, and with the guidance of the train security personnel, they can shoot at any of the malice beasts that come near the train.
I was worried you were going to say shoot at the pores.
Wait, aren't they Mella's beasts?
Oh.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yes, love to fish for pores from my yacht.
Oh look, there's a family! Quick! Pass me the multi-shooter. But yeah, so basically it just sounds like you guys get to sit on the roof of the train in the Malice Lands and shoot some shit.
The worst type of hunters.
Is alcohol allowed up there?
She nods. "Oh, of course, absolutely. And, well, I know you wouldn't want to be shooting with any old rifle, so I do have a friend in Arithia who, sorry, not Arithia, in Shiraj, which is but maybe the second or third main stop we make on this trip. They sell some fine rifles, and I recommend, if you don't have your own weapon, that you purchase one from there."
The mention of guns, I'll probably prick up.
She would easily notice. She's got an eye for the sort of people that she's trying to get in on this deal.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Yes, you. In fact, you look like the sort of weapon connoisseur that would love such a store." And she gives you a small brochure, just sort of showcasing some very fine, ornately carved, wood-handled muskets and flintlock pistols, and just all sorts of very nice, high-quality weaponry, all of which, not a single one is priced below 500 gold piece.
Easily. But quite. Actually,
Yes.
I definitely could.
Let me adjust my monocle. What?
As far as
she leaves some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, as far as like secret police go, we're actually kind of well off.
I think all Odysseus can think right now is that guns and alcohol make for a very dangerous combination.
I just
Yes.
was
Especially
thinking
when
of a
you.
different type of secret police.
Mhm. Especially when you factor in dangerous beasts that his magic might not exactly be able to control, seeing that he probably won't have too good a hold on it at that point.
Are you saying
in
someone could?
Maliflay?
Yeah, could
Mhm.
could easily be pushed off the top of the train, maybe?
Saying that there might be a murder.
And
What makes
murder.
you think it's murder? Alright, so yeah, shortly after the security check, the clock tower outside that you guys passed on the way into the train begins to boom out a tune on the half hour. There's a great snapping hiss heard throughout the train, and the behemoth vehicle lurches into action. Metal squealing and clicking, and you all sort of pushed back into your seats or rocked slightly on the chairs you're sitting on as the Avery Coast train heads off. You can feel it accelerating slowly but steadily, hauling its tons and tons of cargo and passengers up to speeds unmatched except by magic. Beaumont quickly glides past the window, and someone threw a drink at me. And soon the scenery of pastoral Dana is flying by at a staggering, whopping 60 miles per hour.
You know, I gotta say that qualifier kind of dampens it. You know, it's the fastest you've ever seen. Well, aside from magic.
That's the whole thing, right? It's the Industrial Revolution versus magic.
I think magic wins out.
Magic is old hat. Tech is where it's at.
So, without anything particular, like just call out if there's something you want to do right now, but otherwise, the train stops about once an hour at different small cities and towns, usually waiting no more than 5 to 10 minutes for people to board or disembark. No one else boards on first class, but the ranks of second class and coach begin to gradually shuffle throughout the day. Does anyone want to do anything for the first several
I
hours
might-
of the day?
Might scout out to see where that dwarf is sitting. What
Okay,
area of the train?
alright.
Um,
Roll me a streetwise, I guess.
My character is so not built for this part of the
Sorry.
adventure. Oops, that's thievery. I'm not gonna steal anything yet.
Alright. Dazis, were you going to say something as well?
Mostly he's just he's trying to mostly remain inconspicuous. Just sort of off in a corner, reading his tech manuals and stuff like that. Just trying to secretly keep an ear out for anything. He's kind of just jumping in between the 13 and 19, really.
Okay.
I'm going to start going around talking to people since I'm a outgoing ne'er-do-well noble. Just chatting people up and including the party to establish myself as, hey guys, who are you? Let me introduce myself.
Alright. So, yeah, you start mingling. Dimitri, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, in order to try and, dissuade attention just in case, any people, are familiar with Dimitri, they've sort of heard of the stuff. I'm going to do everything to just, act the part of, a disgraced, detective that, held on to his job by the skin of his teeth. So I'm just going to be like, loudly wallowing in self-pity.
You can encourage
You know.
the other train operators to like sort of, God, you're shit at everything, aren't you? Every time you sort of ask for help and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm
Just
gonna just
build it up.
loudly complain about how how stupid all the brasses at the Riser for casting me out here, and how my
How this work is.
how my comrades stabbed him in the back, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make everybody around me absolutely miserable until no everybody's gonna think this guy's such a fuck up. There's no way in hell that he could actually be a proper agent.
Forging your signature.
You're the worst, Dimitri. You're the worst.
Oh.
So, Orzhov, you managed to find Tintelovich. He is chilling. You actually only just quickly catch him as he's going back into his room in cart 13.
Okay, I'll commit that to memory. Cart
Sorry,
13,
not 13,
that's-
15. That 5 looked a lot like a 3. He's in car 15.
And that's second class, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. I'll just hang around that cart for now.
Okay.
And maybe keep an eye, like a glance on his room. Mostly not so much for him coming out, but a bit, but for if anyone else goes in.
Alright. As you're sort of waiting in this cart, a couple of hours sort of going by, you might shuffle around and he might come and go and you sort of keep an eye on it. As he comes back to his room, after one of the little jaunts, maybe down to the common dining area, there is an outcry. And there's a bit of a scream that breaks out through the train, and the security runs past you down towards the dining room, pushing past Tintelovich where
13?
he's just came. Yes. This isn't 13 actually, yeah, so you're here. So Adaeus,
Okay.
you get to see firsthand as a man just after Tintelovich, because I'm assuming Orzhov's sort of pointed out people of note to everyone, yeah? Like these interesting people
Yep,
you
yep.
guys all keep an eye on.
I draw a crude picture.
Just pat it on his back like a kick me sign. Watch this guy. Yeah, so as Tintelovich leaves the dining cart, not 3 seconds after he's gone, a man slumps forwards on his seat, stone dead. And the lady across from him screams out in panic. And that's the cause of alarm.
Oh, was this man sitting anywhere near Tintelovich?
Roll me a perception check.
I have 6 in that.
Right. It's not hard.
Okay, 18.
So he wasn't sitting near him. You knew that already, but you do know that Tintelovich walked past his table when he was leaving. And the way he walked past his table, so I'm going to be using the main this picture just to show you.
Oh, that one does have the name Battle Map in it.
So if you were sitting, say, here, the other guy was
1 second.
the diamond, the guy that died, and Tintelovich was down here, but he walked past that table, almost did no, I'll go the other way, and then walked down this way. So he had walked past his table.
How do I
It
pull
is
up the
13,
image?
right?
Huh?
We are in 13, right? Because I'm not
Yes.
actually seeing anything.
You're not seeing
on
the things I'm drawing? The little squares?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
I
looking at the wrong thing.
Were you looking at the individual 13?
Yes, I was looking
sorry,
at individual.
I was going to say, for the unless we're sort of actually doing something battle mappy or something on there, I'll just use the main one.
Okay.
Easier.
So yeah, he was sitting in the back.
So you were sitting with the arrows pointing at now. The guy who died was sitting there, or is sitting there. He's now dead, sitting there. And Tintelovich was here, and he moved up this way, and then sort of turned around as if realizing he was going the wrong way, and then walked back. And as soon as he sort of got round, that corner, the guy slumped forwards dead.
Okay. Well, now I have to think.
Someone's already shouted to get the security as well. It's
Right.
probably not going to be long until they get here.
Ciady's
imagine-
gonna
Is
run over. He's gonna make like he's checking the pulse and stuff.
Okay.
He's looking for anything out of the ordinary over there.
On the person or in the booth?
That's a good question.
You probably have enough time to do a thorough look of either the area or him before people would notice that you're very obviously looking through him and security arrives.
him, probably.
Okay. Roll me a
That would be the least.
perception.
All right. Okay, 24, not bad.
Okay. You sort of looking over him and you put your hand on his throat to, faux check his pulse. And actually, as you're looking over his jacket, your hand's just resting on his throat, where there is definitely no pulse, you feel a very solid lump in it. Almost like something's sticking out the side of the neck, but like from the inside. And a brief look inside of his mouth, you can see a large end of a nut that is wedged in his throat. He is choked on a
nut?
A nut.
A
Maybe
mechanical nut?
Cashew
no,
or
like a cashew or like a pecan, like an edible food nut.
How did you guys not notice him
Interesting.
choking?
He didn't. Yeah, he had no signs of choking, right?
Correct. Though no one was watching this guy; they were watching television. But the people in front obviously didn't make a spectacle of it. No one was shouting, "He's choking! Get a doctor!"
Right.
Where's Cullen now? Was he still in that?
He started moving down the hallway. Just security jostles past him after jostling past you, and he just continues going to his room.
So he's in his room.
Well, he's on his way there. Are you gonna keep following him, or are you gonna go and see what the
I'm
color
gonna
blue was?
keep keeping an eye on him.
So the security soon arrives. Society.
Mhm.
Deus, man. Yeah, I don't know which name I like more. The guards quickly come over and check his pulse and thank you for helping him, but it looks like he has passed. And they begin to ask people, what happened? Did anyone see? And everyone sort of, no, I had no idea. I don't know. No one has really any idea. But he's got a bit of cyanosis. He's got a bit blue around the lips and around the fingers. Certainly looks like he's choked to death.
Would Dimitri be part of the security party that's called, or is this the other end of the train?
Would you?
I think I was sort of probably in like the first class dining cart, so if if word got that far, I definitely would have run there, but I don't know if it would have.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough like security that probably every second cart has a team of 2 to 3 security there. So you probably wouldn't have been called straight away unless there was an ongoing incident, and it isn't. It's just someone appears to have died in a tragic accident. He's tripped and fell on his own shears.
I need to find the passenger manifest again. I need to see who this guy is.
Okay.
Is that public?
It's not public, but he does have a good friend, a member of the RHC, who's currently working on the train.
Ah.
He's from what I hear though, he's a garbage RHC officer.
Yeah.
Probably can't read the names on the list.
That's not the manifest. That's the cargo hold. My goodness.
RH D- tops.
So, while that's going on, Severian, you're sort of mingling with people. In what area of the train?
In first class for now.
Okay.
But also in second class, because probably anyone who is suspicious wouldn't want to draw too much attention to themselves.
Fair enough. So not just first class, but others. Okay. Roll me either a streetwise or... Are you actually from money?
That depends on how you define money. My adopted parents can turn leaves into gold until the next sunrise.
That's pretty good. Well, I mean, a bluff or a streetwise, depending on the crowd you're... if you're playing up your own persona or not.
Never not bluff.
Alright.
Boom.
Boom. Alright.
I have a small question once there's time. How's it like in between the carts? Like, is there a platform you can see or anything like that? Or like, can you
It's
look?
basically just those like the little
Is it
moving platform thing that has bars just that you can use to walk between them. Like
so
it's
it's in
not a
the
closed
open?
thing like modern trains, but
Yeah.
it's got a walkway like a gantry.
Is it large enough to like poke your head out to look alongside of the side of the train?
You'd have to step off the handrailed area to look around the side.
Ah, okay.
Actually, I just realized we stayed overnight at a hotel before boarding, didn't we?
Correct. So you will have extended rest.
Okay, so yeah, I'll set up my spells properly then.
Um,
Because when he goes to his room, is there
Oops.
is there people in the room next to him at the moment?
Uh,
Have I seen that one being taken during my time hanging out in there, or any of the rooms? Sorry.
some of the rooms have been taken. Most of them are, having people come and go. The one directly next to him could have a look. You have a look and you see there's
Yeah.
one guy snoring quietly. It's head against a carry-on luggage.
I want to go into the room, leave a pamphlet next to his body,
Okay.
and once he's in the room, the guy's in his room, like look out, keep my eye out the window to see if he chucks anything overboard.
Okay.
Because I'm 100% suspicious of this guy.
Oh, I hurt myself. So you go and have a look, and you can keep an eye. You don't need to make a roll. He doesn't appear to be hiding anything or throwing anything overboard or anything. All right. Nothing else. I'm assuming come from. Quinn, Ryla, what are you doing?
I feel like I'd try and play the part of a drunk, but not really get drunk. Keep an eye out, see anyone who's seems particularly secretive, like subdued, like kind of keeping to themselves. You know what I mean?
Okay. You don't get too much in the way of people doing that in the bar. Most people in here are sort of fairly outgoing. But you get talking with a man who introduces himself as Oliver Boone. My name is Oliver Boone, and I take my martini shaken not stirred. Nah, he's a sly gentleman, and he's sort of busy talking up a couple of ladies to the side of you, and eventually you guys get talking. He might be boasting of his prowess with women at certain points. But there's a picture just to let you know what kind of a guy he is.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
It's like Tom Selleck meets Indiana Jones.
Yeah, all right.
And he introduces himself, as Oliver Boone. And he's a tiefling. And as you guys get talking, he lets you know that he's a man who's wandered the Malice lands since an early age. And, have over the years developed quite a knack with the pistol. And, you know what gets the ladies' hearts pumping more than a man who's faced danger and shot it in the face? Nothing! Hey, you know that? Huh? And he, drinks up with you. Basically, he's just a giant douchebag.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I know that gets ladies harder than that is rock rackers.
Rockrakus. He's the worst.
One of the things you notice about Olivert, whilst he's drinking, he only ever drinks with one hand. His left hand is always down by his hip. And when he laughs and whenever someone says something funny. And he would, someone normal might applause with their laughter, make a clap. He just sort of slaps his chest. You notice his left hand never moves, and you can see down by his leg is a holster for a pistol strapped to his leg. His hand is never more than 6 inches from his weapon.
Yeah, same.
His weapon's not his penis.
You get the idea that he's a bit of a gunslinger.
I challenge him to a duel. No,
Hmm.
I'll probably just talk to him. I know a few things about guns myself.
He gives you the slightest glimmer of, oh yeah, kind of somewhat interested, but as if anyone like you would have something interesting to tell him.
Oh.
Let's hear it then.
What? What?
You said you know a bit about guns. Well, let's hear it then. What have you got to tell me?
Oh, shit, should I? Oh, shit. This. Actually, nobody else knows about it, do they? The Obscurati should know about it. I didn't
About
show
what?
anyone else. The bullet. I never got rid of it. I still have it.
The bullet
That,
from the chick.
Yep, that gold one.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that your girlfriend gave you?
Yeah, and actually, despite we never resolved that during like my downtime and stuff, I've actually been studying how to make that. So
That's a good point. Because you were studying how to make a gun that could fire it, right?
I think I was studying how to make the bullets themselves. I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, we can sort that another time. You'd still have it with you now, at least. And I can consider that if anything happens to make you lose it now, you just would have had made a copy by this point. We'll just go with that and we'll sort it out.
Alright,
Anything
yep.
beyond that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll probably take it out and kind of show it to him and maybe explain a little bit how it works.
As you pull it out, you definitely pique his interest. And yeah, he avidly listens as you explain how it works and shows great interest and reluctance to return it to you after the conversation begins to wind up. But eventually he does give it back, but you see him eyeing it and you for quite some time. Even as you or he goes to leave the area, he sort of gives you a bit of a look. And he says, perhaps we'll see each other quite soon. That's a mighty fine... Oh, it's a mighty fine artifact, really.
Wait, artifact? It's not an artifact. Oh wait, shit, is it? I thought it was...
Did you say that? Is it?
Oh.
Are you sure? I just think it's a bullet.
I'll just say to him, I'm sure we'll meet again. I'd love to test out our marksman skills together. Obviously not on each other. And just
He laughs and says, will you be making the trip between Shiraj and Trickham? Never a better chance to fire off some rounds then, eh?
Looking forward to it.
Fantastic. I'll see you then if I don't see you sooner.
Okay.
Baited
and hooked. Got him.
Yeah. And Severian,
I think you got a new boyfriend.
As you're mixing with people, you in fact see this Brienne Caldicus character that you guys saw on the original station that the kid was commenting about the scars. She's chilling around the first class areas. She never seems to take a room or take a seat or stay in any area for long. Just sort of wandering around.
Well, let's go talk to her.
Okay. You make your way over to her, and as she sees you approaching, she subtly, but definitely starts to move away from you as soon as she sees you approaching.
I knew I should have put my makeup on. You know what? I'm actually going to take that as a cue. Wait, already? I haven't even hit you with a line. Not that I was going to try to hit you with a line.
Is this what you're saying to her?
I haven't even come on to you yet, and in fact, I wasn't going to try.
When you start talking to her, she just abruptly cuts you off. No.
Oh,
No.
No. Not you, not me, not ever. No. And she turns. Do you
Well then.
persist?
Is that saying no to him not hitting her up?
I don't know. He can try and persist and find out.
Yeah, as skeevy as it makes me feel. That's a little abrupt, isn't it?
She nods. Yeah, but I'm here to travel, not to make friends.
Well, you're traveling however you pass the time.
She nods. Yeah, and I choose to do it in the least friend-making way possible. Places to be, things to do. I don't need new people, new names. Don't need nothing on my mind. Got enough on there.
Been through some shit, huh?
She says, what? Is that a comment about my scars? Yeah,
No.
yeah. Fought in the war. Did you? Did you fight? Of course you did. Look at you.
You know what? Yeah, I fought in the war.
For a moment, she looks surprised. Oh, yeah?
In fact, Soren's gonna kind of... You know that thing some people do where they kind of drop their, like, extrovert persona? He's gonna do that. He's gonna look like he's letting down his playboy persona, and, you know, his voice gets a little more gruff and serious.
The, I never talk about the war kind of voice change. Alright. Roll...
I'll deal with it in our own way.
Yeah. So what do you... Actually, before I get you to roll anything, what are you going to say when you sort of try and change this... Or try the change of tack?
None of us like talking about the war much, and we all deal with it in our own way.
She sort of shrugs. I don't mind talking about it. Tends to be the first thing people bring up. And she taps her leg. And for the first time, you notice her leg is actually entirely prosthetic. And the arm with which she taps it has a portion of the hand, sort of like the lower three fingers, is also prosthetic.
Sweet.
Must have been in the real thick of it, huh?
She nods. Yeah, unfortunate. Almost lost my life. But, well, sort of lifts her hands up as if to gesture to herself. I didn't, obviously.
Either that or you got one hell of an afterlife.
She smiles. Yeah. This is hell, probably, yeah?
Don't like the people much, then?
I like people well enough. Individual people, that is. A person is great. People are shit.
En masse, we're really kind of the worst, aren't we?
She nods. So she begins to warm up, and you can get a bit of a conversation going with her. She will agree to a drink if you offer. Otherwise, you guys just simply talk in the sort of the train cart, people moving past. A few people
Let's
giving you
go.
glances.
Let's go sit down where people aren't staring. Grab a
Yeah.
drink.
Well, I mean, you're in first class. They're going to stare at the two of you no matter what. mainly at Bree. She doesn't really look the type for first class, the sort of people that are hoity-toity around here. But yeah, she gets talking with you, and you get a bit of background information. She lost her right leg and arm to a jaguar that was summoned by a Raizuri spellcaster in the 4th Year Azul War. That being the nation you are all representing. Raizuri.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I think they're traditionally supposed to get your tongue.
Did you say that to her?
Yeah.
Alright. She smiles, says the thing damn near tried. Fucker. I killed it though. Killed it with my one remaining hand and the 2 fingers I got left on this one, and she lifts her hand with the fucked up 3 fingers underneath.
Yeah, I believe that.
Says, so anyway, you said you're a vet. What are you doing here on the train? Same as me, I assume?
Depends on what you're doing on the train.
Says, come on.
Besides,
You know us vets don't have much option other than security for those who would be willing to pay for it. Well, at least nothing that our skills would be useful for, right?
pretty much.
Not much call for killing outside of protection and crime.
Real worried about us up until it's time to help in any way.
So it's at this point, she asks you who you're here watching. She's basically assumed that you are a bodyguard, and given you the idea that she also is a bodyguard. And she asks you who you're watching. Do you want to correct her, or perhaps roll with it?
Yeah, I'll roll with it. Let's see, which one of my colleagues would I be most likely to be watching? Probably not. So, not the guy who's working for the train. Probably not
Right.
the religion guy. Although
Got-
maybe
I
a
got my
bodyguard
religion
wouldn't be a bad
out.
idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say he'd need it the most.
True.
Oh, the artificer seems like a reasonable enough choice.
Hey, well, you know. Am I walking back there right about then? Trying to find
Yeah,
Well, we
after
came-
the excitement burns off in the dining car, you might be able to just point at Suziri, Edeasis himself, as he walks back into the first class area.
looking
just
for
in time.
Dimitri, right?
Yeah. You were wanting to find the manifest. So yeah, he walks in just as she asks who you're watching, affording you the chance to point him out, if you'd like.
Great. I'll do that until he's some kind of artificing genius, keeping it on the down low.
She nods. Oh yeah, the crazy types, yeah, the ones keeping this nation pushing forwards. That's
Something like that. Who's yours?
She pauses. Roll me an insight. As she
Ooh.
says, well, I was supposed to be watching mine, but they never showed for the train.
Yikes.
Well, that's not very good.
She failed her job before she even started it. That, or she's a
Despite
fucking
fail-
assassin.
You.
I'm
obviously
gonna.
She does tell.
I,
you can
I
spend
think I
hero
have a
point?
hero point.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll it.
Where was that?
Top of the sheet. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
It's that is actually enough to succeed at this, so don't even panic that last one.
I guess she's not a good liar.
It's more you probe the conversation, and she's not very forthcoming at first. She sort of just says, "Oh, it's someone who never showed up, but I'm just going to assume that he's going to get on at a further station." and you sort of gently probe without giving too much, or without pushing too much, and she tells you he's some important tiefling businessman, fingers in a bunch of pies, something like that. Supposed to be making a very important meeting, but he hasn't shown.
He send word, or
She shakes her head. He's not the type to send word, if you know what I mean.
he pay in advance?
She nods. It's
Oh, well, that's
it's not
all right
even him
then.
that's paying. He's just the subject.
Sounds much more interesting than my gig.
She nods. Yeah, good pay too. I mean, not that your friend over there won't have good money behind him, I bet. She sort of jokes with you.
Comes and goes. But he travels a lot, lets me see the world.
That's good. Well, I'm heading as far as Vendrees, so, well, I suppose we'll see more of each other, eh? I'm gonna head down for the night. And with that, she excuses herself.
All
Politely.
right.
Not in a abrupt conversation ending way, just she's done for it. And she retires to her room back in second class.
So this seemed like legitimate bodyguarding work, not like shady business on behalf of somebody, right?
Well, do you want to pass on what you've learned to your friend? Who
Yeah.
might have an inkling who she's talking about? Or what she's talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if there's anybody scheduled to get on or whatever.
Why do all the people have to be unidentified map?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you trying to see?
Caius.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Gaius
Bergeron,
Bergeron.
whatever his
His
fucking
thing
name
is now identified.
I see it.
I'm too lazy. As in, I can't see it.
Ah.
Might have to reopen it.
What do you want for the NPC card?
Oh, NPC. I was looking to see.
Oh, you can just type it. You can also type in Gaius, which is correct. CAIUS.
Those knowing how to spell it. So I got my suspicions it might be that guy.
Okay. So as Adasis is talking to Dimitri, getting the manifest, Dimitri, do you supply the manifest at Adasis's request?
I guess like
Or go through it with
I
him?
assume we can do it at some point, when it's not going to be like obvious and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. I mean, you can just take him to one of the staff rooms and go over it with him.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you looking for at Adasis and the crew manifest?
Yeah, I'm looking for the guy that's just died. So I'm looking through. He presumably be second or third class.
He was second class.
Because he was in the dining thing, so it can't be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
His name was
Dead McChokey.
Shin Ryobi.
It's close.
Dead McDaddy.
Any stated destination?
He was traveling as far as just Shiraj. So only the next main port, or the next main station, sorry.
Hmm. And presumably he had a room.
He actually only
Maybe.
had seated transport.
Seated? Only seated?
Only seated. A lot of the
Mm.
coach and second class stuff are mainly seats, or like
Okay.
Harry Potter style cabins. It's really only first class that have proper beds.
Right. Okay. But presumably he has personal effects.
Yes.
Dimitri, if you can get your hands on those, we might be able to figure out something's just not right here.
Yeah, I
A-
think
a
once
man
word's
just-
filtered up. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, a man does not just drop dead with a nut halfway through his mouth. There is more built up than just that.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Dimitri heard about it, he definitely would have gone down to investigate.
All right. Very quickly, his body has been removed to a one of the luggage cart, just out of the way. They don't really have a morgue on the train. It's not really expected that people would be dying, and he is likely to be offloaded at the first station where the proper authorities can deal with him. But for the moment, yeah, you can get to where he's being kept.
Yep. So I'll probably do that. I guess for a start, and I'd have a list of, I guess, witnesses, like people in the cart at the time as well.
Yep, you get all that stuff pretty easy. You are the RHC. This is your basically an air marshal.
Yep. So yeah, I think first I'll definitely look at the body. Is the thing still wedged in his throat, or did they remove it?
Roll me a medicine check. The thing is still wedged in his throat, but
Heal check.
yeah, that one.
Hey, wow.
All right. So you
Nice.
spend some time with him, and you are confident that this man choked to death on the nut that is securely lodged in his throat.
Can I attempt to extract the nut?
Yes, with a pair of forceps, you pull the nut out. It is in fact a Brazil nut, but it's not called that. It's called a
The
Dano
worst kind of nut.
nut.
Um,
It is a large Dano nut, which is a Brazil nut.
okay.
I would have thought a tie nut would be worse.
And I guess I see like no signs of, like, clawing at the throat, or no signs of him taking any methods to to try and get rid of the nut.
No, none.
Does he smell of alcohol or anything else that might incapacitate him?
He's got a slight smell of wine, but from the report you gathered, when he fell forwards, he smashed over a bottle of wine that spilt on him, which would explain it. There's no reek of alcohol on his breath or anything like that. Well, on his throat.
Yeah.
All right. And does he have anything of note in his possessions?
Yeah, you start looking him over, and you find, as you're sort of patting down his wrists, a small mechanism that pushes forth a blade. Not like the Assassin's Creed one. It pushes a blade into his hand to then wield as a dagger. So it's more like a cheating at poker contraption. That instead of pushing cards up into his hand, pushes up a dagger, and lodged, or in this little device is
Sort of
a
like
dagger.
a mechanical Wolverine claw thing.
No.
Except obviously not going through his.
More like a magician's tool. Like, I'll show you. Yeah.
Or Assassin's Creed style.
You know those like cartoon-esque scissor springs that people have up their sleeves to push cards up into their hand, like that.
Oh, like spring loaded then.
Yeah, like a spring-loaded
yeah.
dagger. But I don't want to say that because that sounds like Assassin's Creed. Thanks Assassin's Creed for ruining spring-loaded daggers for everyone. But yeah, it's a contraption that puts a dagger into his hand that is easily concealed, and the dagger that is in it is equipped with a poison that, when the dagger is used, the poison will break and run down the blade into the wound.
Interesting. That seems like a bit more than a person just interested in self-defense would have on their hands.
Absolutely. And you also find a wallet in his jacket pocket. This wallet has absolutely nothing in it except for a small painted portrait, or like drawn portrait, of a dwarf.
Any
Does it look
dwarf in
like?
particular?
Yes, it looks like possibly Verzebek Tintelevich, or
Shit.
or
Oh shit! Or
Or
Dimitri?
you.
No.
but with less grey hair.
All right, I'll definitely take that with me.
Okay.
I'll start probably, interviewing suspects of the train, including the undercover officers that were there. I'll just, with a completely straight face, just, well, what did you see, citizen? That sort of thing.
Well, that would be Dimitri's style. Absolute professionalism. With being grumpy.
And then,
Answer the
yeah,
questions or you are under arrest.
yeah, and then I'll probably, I'm guessing that I wouldn't get too much useful out of them, so I'd at some point in the process talk to Talovich.
Okay. Alright. So you start talking with people before we get to Tintelevich. We will come to Orzov. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing interesting has happened with the window?
No. So he's definitely thrown nothing out. And in fact, he seems to remain in his room. Doesn't seem to be doing much.
I'm just gonna knock on his door.
Okay. You knock and there's a... What?
Hello, can I speak to you for a moment, sir?
Yeah, of course. Of course, mate. Come on in.
And I come on in.
Alright. Come on in. So please sit. God, I've been dying for a conversation. These bloody train trips. Ridiculous.
Ah, well, take too long, eh?
Says, damn right. I need to get to the Nalam Casino. They're they're waiting for me.
Oh, you're a big gambling man, I take it.
He nods with a grin and pulls out a couple of gold pieces. Yeah, you want to play?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's against. It's on one of the commandments: shall not gamble, unless with others' money.
Well, I mean, you look like a fine, upstanding man of the faith, but I don't know, never hurt no one. Oh, tell you what, we won't even play for stakes. And he puts away his gold and he says, "How about we just play for bragging rights? Hey, that sounds good. Fantastic. Come on, mate.
Now, there's no commandment against that. I would be keen for that.
Fantastic. I knew you were a bright fellow, and he's just genuinely a nice guy. And you guys start playing card games, of which he has a couple of packs in his pockets, and he pulls out and takes great joy in teaching you various games, some of which you might have experienced, some of which you haven't. But yeah, just
I like
just
this
having
guy.
a good bit of fun.
Yeah, so I'll just start doing small talk with him, Just, ask, where he's from, what got him into gambling.
As you do, the conversation sort of turns a bit more serious as games start to slow down. And he says, I've studied the mathematics of luck. And I use it to my advantage.
Oh, you're a bit of a academic.
He nods, yes.
Passion for the probabilities.
Exactly. Quite. You know what? You are smarter than I thought. And I thought you were pretty smart already, friend.
Oh. You, what's the word for it?
Gifted?
No, when you're trying to be humble. Obviously, I'm not humble all the time, so I just can't think of it. You, English is hard.
Flatter me?
Yes, you flatter me.
Okay. So he's nonsense. Look, fantastic, and you sort of get the impression that he's just a bit of a problem gambler.
No, I can't think of anything else on the top of my head. Too busy trying to think of the word flattery. So while I'm talking to him, can I, while playing the gambling games, have a quick few glances around the room? See what
Yeah,
I can
sure.
see?
It's a fairly nondescript train cart room.
Does he have much luggage with him?
He has just a single piece of carry-on, but it looks like it might be enough to have a few days worth of clothes.
So what gambling games do you prefer in particular? What's your favorite or your weakness, one should say?
Laugh. None of my weakness, they're all my strength. I'm a
I mean-
man who likes all chance equally. As long
I mean weakness as in you can't resist but to play it, rather than skill-wise.
Are you, like,
'Cause you clearly have plenty of skill.
crockerying in the background?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm making noodles because I'm hungry.
Right. Okay. I just heard you noodle. He doesn't really offer up a game in particular. That's because I don't know games and he doesn't have any games written for him. So
Oh,
no
yeah.
games for you, buddy.
Thanks, I guess.
He likes dice. Go on, let's throw out craps. He likes craps.
Oh, you're not a fan of Riser Hold'em?
He shakes his head. No. I like games where I understand the odds a bit more. All this, and he sort of looks around. I guess work you'd call it. It's just to get seed money for my research.
Oh, research, you say? What research? What are you researching? Judging from your interest in probabilities, it must be quite advanced and hard, difficult.
Says, well, as I say, I already told you, I study the magic and the mathematics of luck. That's my research.
Ah, so luck itself.
Luck itself.
You got a little abstract you can share with me about your
No, nothing public.
interest in luck?
No, he doesn't really have much more to say on the topic, and any more pressing into his research will cause him just to clam up.
I wish you well in your research. Who knows? Maybe it'll bring change to my religion. Maybe
Yes,
I'll
thank
be in a few years' time worshipping Lady Luck instead.
He gives that a good laugh. Says, yes, perhaps if the end hasn't come by then, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Well, I guess that might all depend on our luck.
At this point, as you're sort of making the leave, there's a rap at the door, and Dimitri is outside the room as Tantalovich opens the door to greet you. Ah, another. Ah, perhaps we can play some 3-player games. Quick, please, come sit, sir. You're not busy, I hope.
And I will say, Dmitry RHC, you are the. Look at the paper. Telovich, no?
No,
And
Tantalovich. There's another T.
apologies. For I'm reading here from witness report that you were in the car at the time that the mysterious death took place, no?
Sorry, what? Death? Witness? I'm sorry, what's going on?
According to a report from I can't remember who was one of the people that was there. Who were the-
Society, for one.
Yeah, it is. Or Society has covered a couple of other unnamed NPCs.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll go and I'll just pick up one of the names of the people. So according to this report, you were seen, witnessed traveling in that direction, then turning as if you lost your way, and then seconds later, the person slumps to the floor as you continue to leave the cart as multiple people start screaming.
Hang on. walking past someone who has an accident makes you culpable? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no. Don't get me wrong. You are not a suspect at this point. This is just a formality. I am interviewing everyone. I I I was wanting to know if you saw anything strange. Did you see a person looking like they were in distress at all?
No, I was going to make my way up to back to my room, and then I realized I'd gone the wrong way, and then turned around, and as I was leaving the area, there was a cry of alarm, and security was running down, but nothing to do with me.
Oh, well. That's just good to hear. So tell me anyway. Just curious though, what is your destination again? It's
Where was I heading to? Hey, let me find my ticket. And he starts rummaging through his bag.
do I know
And
it from the manifest?
I'll answer for him. It's like, weren't you going to that casino for some testing out your luck?
Oh,
This,
yes, yes. Nalam, yes. Well, that wasn't my only stop. Here, and he pulls out his ticket, and you see it as a full trip, all the way to Vendries.
okay. That's very interesting. And I'll sort of ask, and what is this about luck? Sorry, I mean, sorry, I didn't catch. What was your business again? What is your occupation?
I didn't say my occupation, actually. I
Uh,
am a researcher, and I'm sorry. Is my research of import to your investigation?
oh, no, sorry. It was just this person here mentioned something about luck, which made me just think it was interesting that it seems to be a remarkably unlucky event that happened. That this person just suddenly choked on a knot and died before he could even you know alert anybody to his predicament. Very unlucky. I'm sure it
Yes,
had nothing at all to
unlucky
do.
for him, of course.
I also, excuse me, citizen. Would you please excuse us for a moment? And I'll motion to the Orzov.
Yeah. Well, yes. And I just hand you both pamphlets as I go to leave.
Thank you.
Telemage just sort of drops it immediately onto the table in the middle of the room. Or the side of the room, sorry.
And as soon as he's out the door, I am going to close the door and latch it behind me.
What are you doing?
Like I said, I am an officer of the RHC. And I am officially requesting you to answer a few questions. You are not under arrest yet.
He looks
But
to you.
that could
He just looks at you and waits.
change.
It says, are you going to answer questions voluntarily? If you have done nothing wrong, I can assure you that this will all be a misunderstanding, and there will be, there is no cause for alarm.
I promise not to. I don't promise to answer any question. Go ahead.
Hmm.
I don't wish to implicate myself in whatever this is.
I'll just say, let me then ask you a question. Are you in a line of work that would possibly make you enemies?
No.
Hmm. Really? So you don't think that there would be anybody that would have an interest in seeing any harm come to you, or
That's not what I said. I said my work doesn't involve making enemies.
but perhaps you have some? Is there anything in your that you have possibly done, or any reasons that people might have for not for seeing you disappear or come to harm?
There may be debts. There may be those who believe that I am indebted to them when in reality All I've done is win legally.
So, the companion there mentioned that your research involves. Is it
Not
something to do
discussing my
with?
research with you, sir.
Very well. Okay, then, given the pieces I have, I can only surmise a theory, which I will present to you without comment. Would it be surprising at all if I would say that the person that so unluckily turned up dead happened to be have on his personal effects items that would only make sense on a trained assassin, and would also be carrying a picture with has a remarkable likeness to you yourself? And I'll pull out the picture right now.
All right. Roll me insight, please.
Insight. Oh, glad I've got the bonus.
Are you happy with that?
I'm going to do a bonus.
Alright.
Insight. That's better.
That's better.
I'll take the 30.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
So,
this is true.
just to surmise the next few sentences you two exchange, you get the idea that he isn't surprised, but is surprised at your reasons for him being targeted. So I know I can sort of roughly guess where you're going to go with it, that you're going to suggest that he's...
I'm offering basically the theory that, maybe he's being, targeted for gambling debts, and
Yeah.
perhaps he's found some way to defend himself.
Yeah, so the only way
Which,
I can
by the way,
explain the
just-
result you get is that he is not surprised someone is trying to kill him, but he has genuine surprise when you suggest that it's over a gambling debt.
Yeah. Also, this is, I'm not sure if this will be in the book or not, but under Denoran law, like, let's say that, are you allowed to kill in self-defense?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. If someone tries to kill you, you'd be able to kill them back. If
I want to act like, I think that's a legitimate thing, and, then I might,
just
what
insinuate
I'm trying to get at.
perhaps if he admits to it, then,
Yeah,
it
I'm sort
won't
of going to be
all bad.
thinking offhand as if I'm thinking okay, the assassin's probably the problem, and perhaps this guy. Basically, I'm wanting an excuse to, try and be not be. I want to be seen like I'm coming on, being somewhat supportive of the situation without it seeming weird.
Okay.
And hoping I'm trying to get more out of him by being a bit, a little less aggressive.
Yeah. He, and as far as you can tell, truthfully, sticks to him not having any knowledge or idea of any sort of attempt on his life or attacking this man. As best as you can tell, he really has no idea how this man died, or if it was more than an accident.
Right. So you think? So I'm pretty convinced that he, does not actually believe that he had anything to do with it.
Yeah. And in fact, the last comment he makes on the matter is, perhaps it was unlucky for him, but if what you say is true, this man was trying to kill me, then perhaps I was simply fortunate. And roll me a perception, please.
All right.
I see what's happening here.
I see what's happening here.
Face to face with Grace.
Hey, yeah, you got it. As he says the last comment, you see his hand very imperceptibly, just briefly move towards his pocket, just like patting it slightly.
What has it got in its pockets, this precious?
Exactly.
All right. So, all right, and this is just before I reply to him. how far away is the destination that's on his ticket? That's quite a far away, isn't it?
It's the entire length. He's going as far as you guys are. He's going to the end of the line.
Right. All right. I'm gonna probably be done with him for now, and I'll sort of say that I might have some questions later, and I thank him for his cooperation and all that. And I will probably say, I don't know. I'll probably leave it at that for now.
Okay. It's actually at the end of your conversation with him at this point. The discussion is punctuated with the whistle of the train indicating that they're coming to a stop. From what you remember of the train sort of schedule, you should be expecting to arrive at Keske, which I'll chuck in the chat. Which is no one should be getting off here, but there will be a fair few people getting on. It's just one of the outskirt towns, so people will be going into major cities from here.
I'll keep an eye on people getting on.
Yeah, all right.
I'll keep an eye on if anyone gets off.
Okay. You do keep an eye, and no one gets off. But those of you who are keeping watch, which I assume is everyone else who's not busy, Dimitri, you'll be obviously helping people get on, checking tickets, all that jazz.
Yep.
Expected to do your roles. So this will be Society, Severian, and Quinn.
Society is probably actually taking matters into his own hands. He wanted to check the deceased's, the Shen guy's luggage.
Okay. So the only thing registered in the manifest from him coming on was a hand bag, well, like a small hand satchel, which is nowhere present on him.
Right. So that would presumably be in one of the second-class cars.
Yes. The seats that he is allocated have no bags present either. There's none sitting in any luggage compartments. I mean, there is, but other people are there with them, and they sort of tell you, no, that's mine, leave that bag alone, what are you doing? Get out of my stuff. Do I have to call security? That sort of thing. So you don't find a bag belonging to him anywhere. But there was definitely one checked in.
Okay. For the record, I would have been a lot more subtle about.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like if you try to take any, you know for sure that those bags are people's. However you find it out.
Those bags are people. They have rights.
Those bags are people.
Those bags are people's. Apostrophe S. My goodness.
Man, the luggage department is a whole fourth class, isn't it?
Pretty much. The malice beasts are actually just the people from the luggage.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So sorry. Society, Severian, Quinn, and Orzov all roll perceptions, but Orzov, yours is for making sure people don't get off.
Great, because I got.
Fuck it.
All right. Yeah, there's not long left of the session. Burn them. Nice roll.
Oh, I didn't actually roll perception.
And you just rolled a +5.
Because I get +5 to my perception.
Why didn't you just roll perception?
Because I was an idiot and just put +5 and then I was already next to the D20.
Oh my god. Just reverting back to basic. Why? Okay, so you rolled 23. And
23 plus
well.
11.
I'll have yours. Oh, and Severian, both of you. Oh no, Severian, you're already doing this. Good. Malzen? Is that yours? Just waiting for a deus.
Oh, I'm supposed to roll. Oops.
That's right. But this is assuming that you're also going to be keeping an eye on the people coming in.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. So, as you guys watch the people getting on board the train, the people attracting the most attention at the Kiske stop are a pair of travellers joined at the wrist by ornate bracelets of gold. In time, you guys will find out from the manifest that one of them is someone called Eleanor Yannette, and she's a broad woman, well dressed in flowing silken gown, and wears a constant expression of disdain on her wobbling jowl. Her whole face moves angrily when she shouts at various conductors and portboys and everyone nearby, basically.
Does she want to see the manager?
Yeah, oh, I bet she... Well, whether she does or whether she just simply tells the others that she'll see the manager, she's that sort of person. I'll have your bloody job for this. She escorts this other figure, who's wrapped from head to toe in black fabrics, to the point where it's impossible to tell if it's a man or woman. Even the eyes of this other person are hidden by dark gauze. And according to the manifest, which you can check later, there is I. Travers as the person's name, which I'll check out. So the first one. So lots of other people in this area sort of looking at this curious pair. And the two of them board while their luggage is taken to a suite in car 18. And they head straight for the first class lounge. The large lady demands some food before the train has, been on the station for 2 minutes. The other passenger sits across from her and never says a word. Who rolled more than 30? Did anyone roll more than 30?
I technically did in my first row.
Did you?
Yeah, because it's meant to have a plus 11 on top of that plus 5.
Wouldn't that make it just to 29? Oh, on top of the plus 5.
Yes.
Ah, okay. All right. So, as you're watching... Oh, no, because you're watching people leave.
Yeah, I'm watching people.
Okay. All right. So you don't notice a whole heck of a lot with these two coming on. There's nothing more extra here. However, Quinn, you did spot when these two came on board, Oliver Boone, who's still in the bar, almost nod at Eleanor as she comes in before turning away and returning to his drink.
Okay.
And I have some empathy cards.
I'll make a note of that to myself. And probably tell kind of subtly my other peoples who didn't see that.
And this is the robed person.
Oh shit, I'll be right back.
Okay. So this is pretty much all the crowd that comes in on the Kiske stop. Kiske, however the fuck is that? And then the train pulls away from the station once again. Getting ready to make the last few hours trek towards Shiraj. And that is where you're all informed the train will be making a overnight stop in the city of Shiraj. Due to arrive at 5:38 p.m. Denoran time.
Cool. Out of game question.
Yep.
How long are you going to go for, Dan? For longer?
I'm going to stop now.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Is this a good place to stop if we're not going to continue for much longer?
Yeah, as you get a group of people, chuck it in your notes, these people. You guys will want to know at least some of the people you've met.
Where's Rilo when you need him?
I know. Just go. That's fine. I'll leave the
I've got-
server up for a bit. But yeah,
I've got most of them since I just got some polite hints that note taking might be a good idea.
Good work, Constable.
man, this bloody adventure is full of fucking like I don't know what you call them, Easter eggs, or like nods to characters' names. Like there's a
Back, sorry.
it's alright.
Welcome back.
We're gonna finish up. There's a family of people called Han, Leia, and Luke. There's a person on the train called Mr. Maple, who's like Miss Marple. It's just like a little nod to Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, a little bit of there. Yeah.
I was thinking of choosing I can't pronounce his name.
Poirot?
Poirot, yeah, there we go. Name is the thingy
Oh,
bob.
as your
Cover.
Beside him.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
have been perfect. You should have done it.
But I'm not the investigation-ish type.
Yeah, fair enough. I am probably the detective alive.
I watched the series recently, actually.
Poirot, they're good, eh?
Yeah.
I want to see the movie because I want to see if the guy in it is good.
I really enjoyed the movie, but I had no exposure beforehand, so I don't know what sort of bar's been set for you.
Ah, right.